Luisteraars van Rock of Ages. Ja, wij hebben het genoegen met een, laat ik zeggen, legendarische zanger-bassist van een eveneens legendarische death metal band. We have Paul Speckmann from the mighty Master. Good evening, Paul. How you doing? You all right?
I'm doing fine. It's a little late, so it's past my bedtime during the week, yeah.
Oh, you have to sleep actually now.
Well, I get up early in the morning to go to the gym all the time, you know.
Okay, oh, that's good, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You got to stay in shape when you're 60 years old, and you got to get your rest, you know.
Yeah, that's important, yeah. Well, Paul, first of all, thank you very much for your time. It's an honor to have you here for Rock of Ages on AFM in the Netherlands.
Well, I'm happy to be here, of course.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Of course, we're going to talk about the new Master album, Saints Dispelled. But first, Paul, I already mentioned it. You guys are so legendary. How come that Master has become so legendary? Can you tell us a little bit about the past of Master, how it all began back in the day?
Oh, actually, I spent some time in Holland. I lived in Tilburg.
Yeah.
That might be the reason there, anyway. Oh, the band started out in the early 80s and just playing put out a couple of demos, you know, and hope for the best. And there was this big tape trading scene back in the early 80s, and
Yeah.
people were trading cassettes, and pretty much that's how you discovered anything new.
Yeah.
Today's much easier, obviously, on the internet. But back in the day, you got cassettes from different bands, and if they liked you, they made copies and sent it to their friends, and so on, you know, et cetera. Yeah?
Yeah. And
So that's really is how we got started. You know, people really liked the Master demos and Death Strike demos, and started writing, sending letters and stuff, talking back and forth, and that's really how it began. You know,
yes. Did you have a specific plan with Master? Or
a specific plan. Oh, we were just listening to the great bands like Motorhead, Venom, Slayer. It was all really new at that time, you know, and
yes.
and GBH and a lot of this punk stuff came into the foray, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Discharge and Minor Threat and The Exploited. This kind of stuff was really a big influence on Master, and we just decided that we wanted to be heavy too, you know.
Yeah.
We expand we could in Chicago, and I think at the time we probably succeeded, you know.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah. So in the beginning of the 90s, you make like 3 albums and you guys were going very well. But at one point, there was no more Master. What happened?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Well, in '93, we lost our record deal with Nuclear Blast. They didn't really like the new album very much in '93,
Oh.
Collection of Souls. It was a really big, a lot of people liked that album in Holland, though. I know that because we played some shows during that time. But
Yeah.
for some reason, the record company didn't like us, and they dropped us. And then it took me like 5 years really to get it back together. So that's what happened.
That's a mighty long time. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years of hell trying to get a lineup together and find a new deal,
Yeah.
make a new demo, and it was really a difficult time in my life.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I never gave up.
So you have to build it all up again.
Yeah, but I never gave up, and
No.
and by '98, I got together a new band like successfully. We recorded a couple of demos between '95 and '98, and then
Yes.
in '98 we got a record contract in America, and then also a deal in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And the Germans brought us over to Europe for a tour in
Yeah.
'99. And pretty much I never looked back after that. I've been busy ever since. you
Ever
know.
since, yeah. So actually, the metal scene is actually, I think, a very strong fan base. They didn't forget about Master, so that's good.
Well, I got lucky. You know, Europe was good to us, and that's why in the end, you know, I moved here because I've been working ever since I moved here.
Yeah. Okay.
Every year there've been shows, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the best thing that ever happened was to come back and do a tour in '99. You know.
Yeah. The great Master comeback.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it worked. You know,
Yeah.
it got me work, got me concerts, and life is good. You know.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Good. Yeah, so you guys have a new album out called Saints Dispelled. Actually, at Hammerhard Records here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But it's quite a couple years before the last album. What did you guys do in between, before the last record and this record?
Okay, well, in 2018, the band broke up. once again.
Once again. Oh,
This time, will say the one thing is that that previous lineup, we were together for 16 years.
that's a long time.
That was the longest lineup ever in Master. Anyway, so we split up. The guys wanted more money, and which is understandable. Like
Yep.
with anybody, they wanted more money, and at the time, we were getting a certain fee, and I wasn't getting more money. So I
No.
said to him, I'm not going to give you more money until I get more money. It's quite obvious.
Yeah.
So one night in the middle of the night, they quit the band and they smoked me because we had 2 shows in Finland, and we were to meet that night or whatever early morning and go to the airport and fly. Flights were booked, etc. Helsinki, I think, and Tampere maybe. And the guys wrote something on the internet, talking some shit about me on Facebook.
Ah, no.
And then the promoter called me at 2 in the morning. He said, "Did you see Facebook? I think the guys quit the band. What about the flights and the show tomorrow?" And and
Whoa.
whatever. So I read the thing on the internet, and then I went over to the rehearsal room and got my gear out of there in the middle of the night and brought it home.
In the middle of the night, really? Yeah.
Canceled the concerts and had to pay back the flights, etc. That's life and promotion fees. Life goes on. But point is we split up, and then after a short time, I contacted some American friends of mine, and I went and did a tour in the USA, and then we did a tour in Central America and Mexico. Then I brought the guys over here to Europe to do some dates. I think we did 10 dates, and I think the last festival was in the Bilbao Death Fest in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys went home, and I came home, and I got to the airport, I don't know, maybe 11 o'clock at night, got off my plane, got my guitar and stuff and my bags, and I noticed the airport wasn't very full. It was really very empty, maybe 20 or 30 people in there.
Yeah.
Normally there's 500 people in there. It's just chaos,
Yeah.
I remember, so I grabbed my bags and stuff, and I go out the door. And again, normally at this time of the night, 10 o'clock at night, you got millions of people coming in and out of the airport. It's like total chaos, and you're like, oh, wow, And I go outside, and I light up a cigarette at the time, and I'm smoking a cigarette, and there's nobody outside. It's only me. I'm kind of like scratching my beard going, what? Some guy comes out in an orange vest, and he's sweeping up cigarette butts, a little bit of garbage. And anyway, needless to say, my brother-in-law finally showed up after I stood for about an hour. He couldn't find me.
No.
For some reason, but he found me finally. And I got in his car, and then the next day, everything closed down. The airports, the cities, everything.
Oh, whoa.
COVID was there, obviously.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, there you go.
Luckily, I got home just in time, like a day, like I said, day or two before the lockdowns began.
Okay.
So obviously, then there you go. Now you have 2 more years.
Yeah.
Gone.
2 years of silence.
And then in 20, let's see, let's think about where we at here, 2022, maybe 2021. It began to open up eventually.
Yeah.
After about 2 years.
Life's get open
again. I got together, I put a little ad under a picture of mine, of a t-shirt or whatever. I was selling lots of merch during the COVID time.
Yeah.
I still do now, but it was like total chaos because a lot more people were at home on their computers and buying everything from me. So I made a living during that 2 years from the COVID chaos.
Yeah, you have to do something, huh?
Yeah, so anyway, continue what I'm saying. So then I put a little ad under there, under a picture. And I just said that, I'd really like to get the band back together now that COVID's going away. And started seeing a couple of shows, not a lot, but a few bands that started traveling again and playing Europe. And I went, wow, they're playing shows. Maybe we can too.
Dit is Rock of Ages.